At my birthday party, my friend laughed loudly during her speech, saying, "Honestly, the only reason we're still friends is because I'm waiting for her to fail and be begging me for help." Guests whispered in shock. She thought she was being ironic, until I played a compilation of all the times she had secretly mocked me behind my back. She tried to argue, but half the room had already started posting the footage online, captioning it "biggest cell phone in party history." Alright, so let me tell you what went down at my 35th birthday in Spokane, Washington. I still can't believe it actually happened. Honestly, I never thought I'd be the kind of person to plan revenge. But some people just push you past your limit. Erin was that person. I met Erin when I was 22, both of us working the floor at a clothing store in River Park Square Mall. She was loud, bold, and said whatever came into her head. At first, I liked that about her. She made people laugh. She made boring shifts go by faster. But over time, I noticed she always had this mean streak. She could never just be happy for someone. If you got a new haircut, she said it made your face look fat. If you started dating someone, she asked what was wrong with them for wanting you. If someone got a promotion, she said it must have been because they were sleeping with the manager or just good at kissing ass. I told myself it was just her humor. She didn't mean it. I was wrong. We stayed in touch after we left that job. She floated through a bunch of gigs, bartender, real estate assistant, some MLM skincare thing. I stuck with marketing. I climbed slowly but steadily. Last year, I landed a big promotion, senior project manager at a firm downtown. It felt huge to me. I'd worked so hard for it, especially after my divorce. Erin gave me a weak smile and said, "Wow, they must have been desperate." It stung, but I brushed it off. That's what I always did. Because she'd been around for so long and I thought that meant something. Anyway, I decided to throw myself a real party for my 35th. I hadn't had a proper celebration since before COVID, and I was feeling proud for once. I rented out the rooftop of a local brewery, got a taco truck, hired a DJ friend. I invited close friends, coworkers, and some family. It wasn't fancy, but it was something I put a lot of heart into. I wasn't going to invite Erin at first, but I felt guilty leaving her out. Old habits. She showed up late, like always. Walked in like she owned the place, wearing a dress that looked like she was headed to a club, carrying a bottle of gin like it was some gift we should all bow to. She started working the room, giving fake-sounding compliments, rolling her eyes when people weren't looking, and tossing out sarcastic comments. She hugged me and said, "Wow, you actually look decent tonight." Shocked. People around us laughed nervously. I just smiled and thanked her. That's how it always went. I'd smile, swallow it, and move on. After we ate, a few people gave short speeches. My sister made me cry with hers. A coworker shared a funny story about a chaotic client meeting. Then Erin stood up, clinking her glass. I felt my stomach turn the second she opened her mouth. "Okay," she said, grinning. "So, I guess I'm supposed to say something nice about the birthday girl. We've known each other for, what, over a decade now. And somehow, she still hasn't blocked me." People chuckled awkwardly. She went on. "We've been through so much. Bad jobs, worse men, even worse fashion choices, more laughter." Then she dropped it. "Honestly, the only reason we're still friends is because I'm waiting for her to fail and come crawling to me for help." She laughed hard, like she was proud of it, like it was the best joke of the night. The room went quiet. I looked around. Some people looked confused. Some looked uncomfortable. My boss gave me a weird glance. One girl from HR whispered to the guy next to her, "Did she really just say that?" Erin waved her hand like it was nothing. "Kidding. She knows I love her. Don't you, babe?" She looked at me with a smile that wasn't real. That's when I nodded at my friend at the DJ table. He hit play. A voice echoed through the speakers. It was Erin's voice, recorded from a voice memo she sent someone else. If I have to listen to one more of her stupid podcasts, I swear I'll gouge my eyes out. She thinks she's changing the world, but it's literally just her whining into a mic. Another clip followed. She only got that job because they needed someone with a brown face. Don't tell me otherwise.
People gasped.
Another. Her birthday party is just a sad cry for attention. Like, nobody actually cares, right? Then a recording from a group chat. You could hear her voice laughing. I swear I'm just hanging around her so I can say I told you so when she crashes and burns. Erin's face turned red. She stood frozen. People started murmuring. Phones came out. One guy was already uploading the audio to Instagram. Another girl whispered, "She did not just get caught like that." My sister stood up.
Wow.
So, this is the kind of person you are? Erin tried to laugh it off. Okay, this is taken way out of context.
It's all jokes.
I'm sarcastic. That's my humor. You all know me. My coworker Jamie shook her head. That's not humor. That's just nasty. Erin turned to me. You seriously planned this? You recorded me? I looked her dead in the eye. I gave you chance after chance. This wasn't about revenge at first. I just wanted to know if what people were saying was true. She started to say something, but stopped when she saw half the room walking away from her. My DJ friend cut the music back in. The party moved on. Erin stood there alone, humiliated. Someone posted the clip with the caption, "Biggest cell phone in party history." By morning, it had over 18,000 views. Erin texted me around noon. You really made me look like a monster. Thanks a lot. I never responded. She made herself look that way. I just held up the mirror. So after that night, I figured it was done. Erin was exposed. Everyone saw what she really was. I didn't need to say anything else. But it wasn't over. 3 days after the party, I walked into work and noticed people acting weird. Not rude, just quiet. Like they didn't know how to look me in the eye. One girl even turned around when I got on the elevator. At first, I thought maybe they were still talking about the party. Maybe they thought it was dramatic. I didn't care. I knew I'd done what I had to do. Then Jamie, my coworker and friend, pulled me aside. She's telling people you edited the audio, she said. I blinked.
What?
She's saying you hired someone to fake the recordings. That you spliced her voice together just to get attention. I laughed at first. It sounded so desperate. But then she added, she talked to HR. Now I wasn't laughing. I went straight to my boss, Michelle, and asked for a meeting. She looked uncomfortable. I'm not accusing you of anything, Michelle said, but we got a complaint about a hostile work environment involving off-hours harassment. It was Erin. Somehow she was spinning it. Saying I had publicly humiliated her, damaged her reputation, and made people at the office turn against her, even though she didn't even work there. I can't discipline you for something outside of work, Michelle said. But if this becomes a bigger issue, it might affect team morale. I couldn't believe it. Erin wasn't just embarrassed. She was trying to flip the story and make me look like the villain. And worse, some people were actually starting to believe her. That night, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. It said, "Careful how high you climb. The fall hurts more." I blocked it, but I knew it was Erin. A few days later, my podcast's email account got hit with spam. Hundreds of messages in an hour. Then one-star reviews started pouring in, calling me manipulative, bitter, and toxic. She wasn't done. She wanted revenge. And she wasn't doing it alone. One night I got drinks with Jamie and another friend, Marcus. Marcus told me something that made my stomach twist. She's talking to people. Trying to dig up anything you've ever done wrong. Asking about your divorce, your old job, even your college days. She's looking for dirt. I realized this wasn't over because Erin wasn't just mean, she was vindictive. And I had humiliated her publicly. That kind of person doesn't let something like that go. Then I found out something that made everything worse. One of the voice recordings, one of the worst ones, was leaked to her boss. She lost her job. I didn't do it. I never sent anything to her work. But someone at the party must have. And now Erin was out of a job, probably embarrassed, probably furious, and blaming me. That's when the phone calls started. Blocked numbers.
Hang up.
One voicemail said, "Hope you're enjoying this. It won't last." She was unraveling. But the scary part?
I didn't feel sorry.
She had spent years talking down to me, laughing at me, using me as her emotional punching bag. Then she smiled in my face and toasted to my failure. She had this whole life built on charm and lies, and when it collapsed, she wanted to drag me down with it. But I wasn't going down. I was just getting started. About a week after she lost her job, Erin went quiet. No messages, no calls, no new drama online. I thought maybe she'd finally accepted it. Maybe she was licking her wounds and realizing she'd gone too far. I should have known better. It started with little things. A couple of clients at work suddenly pulled back from projects. One of them, a local event planner, sent a cold email saying, "Due to unforeseen complications, we're reevaluating our partnerships." Another didn't even respond to follow-ups. These were people I'd worked with for months. I called one of them just to ask what had changed. She paused, then said, "Look, I don't know what's true and what's not, but there's a rumor going around that you sabotage people to get ahead. That you record your friends. Use them." My heart dropped. It was Erin. I was sure of it. She was telling people I was dangerous, that I betrayed her out of jealousy, that I was trying to climb over everyone by destroying reputations. And the worst part? She'd been smart about it. She didn't post anything online. She told people in person. DMs that disappeared. Conversations that couldn't be traced. Suddenly, I was the one being treated like a snake. I was losing clients. Some of my coworkers started pulling away. Not everyone, but enough to notice. Even my boss, Michelle, kept asking if I was doing okay, with this weird tone, like she wasn't sure if I was cracking or calculating. Then something happened that made it personal again. My sister called me, furious. "What the hell did you send me?" she said. "I didn't send you anything." "Oh, really? So you didn't send me that anonymous email full of screenshots about your divorce? About that night with Kyle?" I froze. She forwarded the email. It came from a fake address, but I knew who it was. It had screenshots from my messages. Stuff I had shared with Erin when I was at my lowest, right after my ex-husband left. Things I never told anyone else. "I know it wasn't you," my sister said after a moment. "But who the hell did you trust with this?" I felt sick. It was Erin. She saved everything. She took my pain, held onto it, and waited. She waited for the day she could use it against me. I knew then this wasn't just a petty grudge. This was war. So I did something I hadn't done before. I started talking. I reached out to people who'd known Erin over the years. Old coworkers. Friends she'd ghosted. 2 ex-boyfriends. I didn't trash her, I asked simple questions. Had she ever done something to them that felt wrong? And wow, the stories came pouring in. She had stolen rent money from a roommate and blamed it on the landlord. Lied about having cancer to get out of work. Hooked up with her best friend's fiancé, and then blamed the friend for being boring. She'd left a trail of scorched earth behind her, and people were eager to talk about it. I recorded everything. I wasn't going to release it, not yet.
But I had a folder now.
A real one. With names, dates, screenshots, voicemails. A trail of behavior going back years. Because if she wanted to keep playing this game, she needed to understand something. I stopped being afraid of her. She taught me how to fight. I didn't go public with the folder right away. I wanted to. God, I wanted to hit upload and let the world see who she really was. But something told me to hold back. I needed to be smart. She had already painted me as unstable, as someone who'd snap and go nuclear. If I confirmed that story too early, I'd lose everything. So I waited. I planned. Meanwhile, Erin was still playing her own sick game. She had started posting vague mental health stories on Instagram, talking about how she was betrayed by someone she considered family. She posted selfies with red eyes and captions like, "Some people will step on your neck to get ahead, and you never see it coming." And people, some mutuals, some strangers, started buying it. She wasn't just spinning the narrative. She was winning sympathy. That's when I found out she was trying to get booked on a local podcast. One of the hosts I'd worked with before. They reached out to me, asking if I knew this woman Erin, who said she had a story to tell about being manipulated by a close friend in a professional setting. I asked them to hold off. I told them I'd explain in person. We met the next day at a diner off Division Street. I didn't say much. I just opened my laptop and showed them the folder. It took them 15 minutes to get through the highlights. When they closed it, one of them just said, "Jesus." They canceled her appearance. That could have been the end of it. But Erin wasn't backing down. She started DMing people who commented on my posts, accusing me of being toxic, emotionally abusive, even violent. One girl I barely knew messaged me saying, "I don't know what happened between you two, but she says you made her fear for her safety." Fear for her safety. That's when I lost it. I called Erin. She didn't answer. Of course she didn't. She wanted the upper hand. She wanted to keep slithering around in the dark, poisoning everything without ever showing her face. So I called her mother.
Yeah.
I went there. Her mom and I had met once years ago, back when Erin and I were still friends.
She was kind. Sweet.
Nothing like Erin. I got her number from an old Christmas card Erin had sent me. She picked up confused. I introduced myself. She was quiet for a minute. Then she said, "Is this about Erin?" I told her I didn't want to cause trouble. I just needed to know if she'd heard from her, if she was okay. I said Erin had been sending people messages that were starting to cross legal lines. Her mom sighed and said, "She does this sometimes. She spirals." I didn't press. I just thanked her and hung up. But the next day, Erin messaged me. Just 3 words. "What the hell?"
I didn't reply.
Because now, she was the one rattled. She knew I wasn't playing defense anymore. She knew I wasn't scared. And the look in her eyes the next time we crossed paths at a mutual friend's fundraiser told me everything I needed to know. She was slipping, losing control, realizing that her lies weren't holding up anymore. But she still had one move left, and she hadn't played it yet. The next move came 2 weeks later, and it hit harder than anything she'd done so far. It was a Thursday. Normal day. I was at the office, halfway through my second coffee, when my phone buzzed with a Gmail alert. "Password reset requested for your podcast account." I didn't request it. Then I got another alert. Instagram. Then Twitter. Then TikTok. She was trying to take over my accounts. I moved fast. Locked everything down. Changed passwords, added 2-factor authentication. I beat her to it, but barely. I reported the login attempts. Took screenshots. And then I did something that surprised even me. I filed a police report. It felt ridiculous. I walked into the Spokane police station feeling like a high schooler tattling about cyberbullying. But when I showed them the paper trail, harassment, threats, the fake email sent to my sister, the login attempts, they took it seriously. "Do you know who might be behind this?" the officer asked. I looked him in the eye and said, "Yes. Her name is Erin Lewis. She used to be my best friend." He raised his eyebrows and kept writing. He gave me a case number. Told me it might take a while, but if she slipped up again, if she sent something threatening or accessed something illegally, they could act. I left that station with one thought in my head. She's done playing fair. I don't have to either. And then something strange happened. The next night, I got an email from an old Gmail account I hadn't used in years. The subject line said, "You win." I opened it. There was no message. Just a video. It was Erin, sitting on the floor, clearly drunk or high. Eyes red, hair messy. She was talking straight into the camera. "You want everyone to know who I am?"
Fine, she said.
"You want to tell them I'm a liar, a backstabber, a toxic bitch?"
Fine. I've been that.
"I've done worse. But don't act like you didn't use me too." She laughed bitterly. "You needed someone to make you feel strong. That's what I was. Your shadow. The screw-up who made you look good." "So, yeah, I said shit. I talked behind your back. You weren't exactly a saint either." Then she got quiet, looked away from the camera. "I lost everything. You know that?
My job.
My savings. People won't even return my calls. You wanted revenge.
Congrats.
You got it." Then she ended the video with a whisper. I hope it was worth it. That was it. I watched it 3 times. My hands were shaking. Because for the first time since this whole thing started, I felt something else. Not regret. Not guilt. But the smallest flicker of doubt. What if she was right? What if I'd gotten so wrapped up in exposing her that I hadn't noticed what I was turning into? But that thought didn't last long. The next day, I got a call from Marcus. You need to see this, he said. Check Facebook. I did. Someone had created a fake page under my name. They'd posted a bunch of out-of-context messages, emails, even an old fight I'd had with my ex during our divorce. It looked awful. Like I was some bitter, unstable woman obsessed with revenge. The kicker? The page was spreading fast. She had gone full scorched earth. No more games. No more jokes. Just war. So I pulled up the folder. The recordings. The statements. The screenshots. And I made a decision. If she wanted a public fight, she was about to get one. But it was going to be on my terms. I gave myself 1 day to decide. 1 day to think it through, to make sure I wasn't doing this out of rage or pride. I went for a walk by the river that night. No music, no phone. Just the sound of water and my thoughts. When I got home, I opened my laptop, uploaded the folder, and made 1 single post. Not a long explanation. Not a rant. Just this. There's always a side you don't see. Here's hers. I dropped the link to the folder. Titled it Aaron Lewis, The Real Story. Inside were the voice clips, screenshots, the stories people had shared with me, only from people who gave permission. I blurred names where I could, but I didn't hide what she'd done. I didn't dress it up. I didn't check the reactions that night. I closed the laptop, turned off my phone, and slept harder than I had in months. By morning, it had gone viral in our circle. Local Facebook groups. Instagram stories. People were stunned. The video from my party resurfaced again. Someone edited the footage of her toast together with the voice clips into a brutal 90-second takedown. The caption? She thought it was a joke. She was wrong. By noon, the fake account she'd made under my name was banned. The Facebook page removed. Her sympathy posts were being flooded with links to the folder. Even people who had defended her were backing off now. Then something I didn't expect happened. A woman I didn't know DM'd me. She did the same thing to me 5 years ago. I thought I was crazy. Another. She took money from me during an apartment sublet. I never got it back. Another. She's been doing this forever. You just finally stopped her. People were done staying quiet. Aaron went silent. No new posts. No new drama.
Just gone.
A week later, I got a message from Jamie. Check her profile.
I did.
She'd posted a long note. Her last one. She said she was stepping away from social media, maybe forever. She said she made mistakes, but also blamed online mobs, cancel culture, and betrayal by someone she trusted. Not once did she say my name. Not once did she say she was sorry. And that told me everything. The truth is, I did become someone else during all this. I became cold. I became calculating. I recorded my friend, built a folder, pulled strings, used her own words against her like a weapon. But I also learned something. There's a difference between being cruel and being done taking it. She mocked me for years, tore me down, laughed while she did it, then cried foul when I finally turned the mirror on her. I didn't ruin Erin. She did that herself. All I did was stop protecting her. And I'll never make that mistake again.